Hello, welcome to our today's live session, and we are very happy to have you join us today. All right, just in case if you are joining us now, please let us know where you are joining us from, and also let us know your name in the comment section. If you can see us, drop 1 in the comment section. If you can hear us, drop 2 in the comment section. If you can see us and also hear us at the same time, please drop 1, 2 in the comment section. And just in case you're coming across this live session for the first time and you are wondering who is Braudy Global. So Braudy Global is a real estate development and marketing company that is based in the city of Enugu and Abuja. By that, I'm saying that we have our offices, our physical offices in Enugu and Abuja, and our properties cut across these 2 states. So if you're an investor or maybe a first-time buyer and you're looking for land or maybe a house where you can buy and then live, or you're looking for land you can just buy and start developing, then Braudy Global is that real estate company that you need to reach out to. All right, today we're going to be discussing, or we're going to be having an amazing time today, and we'll be discussing an important topic many people have been asking questions about. So, but before we dive into today's discussion, first we want to let you know who we are. So my name is Okaleke Emmanuel. I'm a real estate consultant based in the city of Enugu. And with me here today, I have an amazing person, one who is very experienced in the real estate industry. And he has handled multiple deals in Enugu and also even diasporas. So I will let him introduce himself so that you get to know him as well.
All right. So my name is Jesse Anozie, and I'm a real estate consultant and expert based in the city of Enugu. And I'm happy to be here to share this interesting and wonderful topic with you today in this live section.
All right, so I hope you are ready for today's session. All right, so one of the reasons why we do this is to help smart investors, especially first-time buyers, make smart, secure, and profitable real estate investments, whether in Enugu or in Abuja. But today's live session is organized by Braudy Global Enugu branch. All right, so today we'll be discussing an important topic. Now, a good number of people have been asking about CFO. Probably you must have heard about CFO, and you are wondering what is CFO. So today's discussion, we're going to tell you everything that you need to know about CFO. And today's discussion, we've been able to divide it into segments just for it to be easy for us to explain it to you, and also you can be able to understand it. And the number one session is
what is a CFO? So first of all, I want you to understand that a CFO is a land title document that is obtainable in Nigeria. All right, but we're going to be focused more on Enugu today in this live session with you. All right, so if you're an individual that by some means you've heard about real estate or you're actively in real estate, then you must have come across the word CFO as a document. All right, so we want to explain to you what a CFO is in this live section, because we believe that when people have more knowledge on a particular thing, it will help them make the best and the smartest decisions regarding what they want to do. Right? So if you're that individual that wants to go into real estate or is already in real estate, so we are bringing this to you to make you understand better what you're doing as regards real estate. So you must have heard about the word C of O. Now, a C of O simply means a certificate of occupancy. This is the full meaning of C of O, because C of O is a short form of certificate of occupancy. All right. So, what is a C of O? A C of O is a document. It is a legal document given by the government to an individual who wants to acquire a land or who has acquired a land. All right. So, it is a document given by the government to show that you are now occupying, now own, and you now can transfer this land that you have to a next person. So the government is the one that issues a CFO. All right. So who issues the CFO? Is another question that people usually ask when engaging in a property, either a land or a house.
Yeah.
All right. So they come across the CFO. So they are wondering who issues the CFO. Now, according to the Land Use Act of 1978, all lands belong to the government, held in trust by the governor of a state. So all land belongs to the state government and the federal government, but it's held in trust by the state government, governor of that state, right? So the person that issues a CFO is the government. Now, all lands belong to the government. So you go to the government and then they issue you a CFO that shows that you now legally can occupy the land that you bought. And you're now the new owner of that land. And they're also recognizing your presence on that land. And in case you want to transfer that land to the next person, they are aware of it, that you are the owner of that land. All right. So now, a CFO is for 99 years, for a period of 99 years. All right. So the federal government is giving you that land to occupy, to own, and to use that land for a period of 99 years. Right. So the beautiful part about this is that when the 99 is over, you can also move to renew that CFO that you've gotten from the government. So I don't know if you're following me. If you're following me, write in the comment section, follow, and I will know that you're following me, all right? And also, as we are on this series, if you have any question, you can leave it in the comment section, and we're going to acknowledge it right here, all right? So a brief recap, the CFO is a certificate of occupancy, just like the name implies, a certificate given to a landowner, given to a first landowner of a land, all right? So the CFO is usually issued when it is a virgin land, and it's issued to the first person who moves to buy that land. That is who the CFO is given to. It's usually a first person, all right? And I want to let you know that a CFO cannot be issued twice, right? It's only issued once to the first person who comes for that land. So with this, I'm sure that you've gotten a background knowledge of what a CFO is as a certificate given to you, right, for a period of 99 years and can be renewed over 99 years.
Wow. Wow.
So this goes further to say that there are different types of CFO, all right? So we're going to be letting Emma tell us different types of CFO that we have.
All right, that's an amazing explanation. All right, so the truth is that many people, I found out that many people don't even know that there are different types of CFO.
Exactly.
So when people want to buy land, one of the major question they ask is this land CFO?
Yeah.
So they don't get to ask, okay, what's the type of CFO that this land has? You understand? If I'm buying this land, what type of CFO am I going to get? So every person, just an average man believes that, an average investor, let me just use that term, believes that CFO is just CFO. They are not different types. So in the next segment, I'll be explaining to you the types of CFO that we have here in Nigeria, especially in the city of Enugu. So there are two types. The first one is what we call customary CFO, and then the second one is statutory CFO. So for the customary CFO, this CFO is a CFO that is issued to a land that is under customary tenure system. So I'm talking about land that is under rural areas, land that are under the control or management or ownership of rural leaders like the Igwe, like the village heads, like the community heads. So, and once you hear about customary CFO, so you should be thinking about land that are within rural areas. So when you want to buy land, sometimes from a community, most times if that land has CFO, it has to be a customary CFO. So on the second type of CFO, we have the statutory CFO. So this CFO is what we know as the official CFO. So this is the CFO that the government issues to you when you want to buy land or when you want to get a CFO for a land. And this CFO, there are about like three types of them under statutory CFO. So first we have the residential, we have the agricultural, and then the commercial CFO. Just like the name implies, for residential CFO, it simply means that the CFO can only be used for residential purposes. So residential has to do with like buildings like where you can live, maybe rental apartments,
Mhm.
maybe family house,
Yeah.
maybe duplexes that you just want to build and then sell.
Yeah.
And the reason why this thing is very important is that you need to know the particular CFO for the land you want to. Exactly. Because take for instance now, you want to build an industry, and now you are getting a residential CFO without knowing. So that means even when you buy that land for that particular, you're buying that land with the intention of building an industry or maybe a factory. You can build that structure, but because that land was not zoned or assigned for that particular purpose, it can lead to demolition. Or maybe the government revoking that particular title over that property. So for residential CFO, it is strictly for residential purposes, residential building. Then we have the agricultural CFO. So this particular CFO is for agricultural purposes. So we're talking about farming. Maybe you just want to buy a land and then basically want to farm, want to plant, and then later you can harvest and then sell whatever your products are from the farm. It can also be used for livestock. Maybe you have chickens, you want to birds, whatever you want to use, cattle, whatever, basically for livestock.
Fish farming.
Exactly. Or maybe you want to graze, you will need a land where you can graze. Then you can also go for agricultural CFO. Then we have the commercial CFO. So commercial, just like the name implies, for commercial purposes. So this can be used for building a plaza, either for offices or maybe for shops or for shopping malls. It can also be used for maybe factory purposes or industrial purposes. So that one is for commercial CFO. And like you mentioned earlier, CFO, according to Land Use Act 1978, it stipulates that CFO can only be issued for a period of what? 99 years. And this is also very important when you want to buy land or when you want to get a CFO or you're buying a property for someone that already has a CFO. You mentioned something very important while he was discussing about or what a CFO is all about. You mentioned that CFO can only be received once. It can only be issued once. So you cannot want to buy a land that has a CFO and say that, oh, please, I need another CFO in my name. It's not possible. So if you understand these types of CFO, it will help you when you want to buy land. You know that, oh, okay, since I want to build a house, maybe for my family, or a house that I want to use for rental apartments, that means I should be going for residential CFO. Or if it's for agriculture, you know that you're going for agricultural CFO. So this part, it's very, very, very important. And I hope you are getting value from this discussion. If you are getting value, please drop in the comment section value and also let us know that you are following. All right. So next on our segment is a very important topic.
Which is how to obtain a CFO. So we've been talking about CFO. Now you might be wondering, how can I obtain a CFO on my property that you have? All right. You're just person that values CFO because CFO is the highest title in Nigeria.
Exactly.
It's the highest land title in Nigeria. So it is quite important. Some people often call it the global CFO, right? So people are always drawn to CFO. So it means what you're trying to say is that more important than having a CFO is what type of CFO it is. Right. So this is more important than just having a CFO because everybody's going about CFO. But then again, they're ignoring the fact that the type of CFO is as important as the CFO itself. Right. So we're moving on to how to obtain a CFO. Now, here is a quick process of how to obtain a CFO in case you want that for your property. So first thing you need to do is the other documents that you have on that property, like the deed of assignment, the survey plan, and other documents that you might have, you need to first of all take them to the land registry in the state that you are. All right. And if you're in the FCT, you can take it to the FCT too, right? So you need to take it to the land registry where you are and register that document. All right. You cannot obtain a CFO if your documents have not been registered. You know, if they are not being recognized by the government, right? Registering a land is simply letting the government know that you are the person that has this land. This is what registering is all about. You know, so in a case where two people show up with documents, it's the person that wins is the person that have let the government know. Because the land belongs to the government, right? So they need to know that you are the owner of that land. So a person that wins a situation like that is a person who have registered his or her documents with the government, right? So first you need to register your register with the government. When you've registered with the government, you can now apply for a C of O on that property. And how do you apply? Is by a written note. You write to the government that you want so and so on your land, right? So when you write to them, they acknowledge your written note, and then they tell you some fees you need to pay as regards your request. Now, your request is to have a C of O, right? So there are going to be some fees around the C of O acquisition that you're going to be aware of, and then you go ahead to pay for those fees. And now that you've paid for those fees, they're going to give you a stipulated time when your C of O will be ready for you to come and pick it up. And then if there's any other information within that period of time, they will duly communicate to you, right? Because you're going to be in touch with the government, letting them know your intentions and when you can receive it. All right. So these things actually take some period of time, right, for them to go around the whole fact that you are the owner and then prepare this for you. So, like I said, there's a few steps is just to register a document that you already have, which is a deed of assignment and a registered survey plan. You register them, and then whatever fees that comes up within that time, you have to pay for it, and then they will give you it's time that your C of O will be available, and all you need to do is just go over there and pick it up, right? So this is how people obtain a C of O in the states that they are in. And then again, if you're outside the states, like probably you're abroad, and then you want all this to happen for you, you can go ahead to engage the services of a real estate company, a credible real estate company that can go about this process for you and make the process seamless and stress-free. You know, you're abroad, you don't have to come down to obtain a C of O, right? However, what you can do is to engage professionals that know how these things are done, and then they'll just help you organize this in the shortest period of time as possible. All right. So with this, we're going to be moving over to the next segment of this wonderful discussion, and we just want to know if you're with us. So you need to type in the comment section we are following, all right, and drop your favorite emoji in the comment section and let's know that we're together in this, and you can still hear us and you can still see us. All right. So how do we verify a C of O?
That's a very important question, very good one. Meanwhile, before I answer that, please, as you are listening to us, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop it in the comment section. We'll be very glad to answer that. All right. So how to verify a C of O?
Yes.
This part is very, very important. Most investors, especially first-time buyers, make the mistake of not taking out time to verify
C of O.
So most people believe that once they hear C of O, they believe that property is genuine.
It's genuine.
There's no issue, there's no land dispute or litigation over that property. And just like you mentioned, that C of O is the highest title document used in real estate land transaction in Nigeria. So people, once they hear C of O, in fact, people even when they want to buy land, they say, this land, does it have C of O? Does it have C of O? So they don't even talk about deed of assignment. They don't talk about registered survey plan and other important documents. So to them, they feel like C of O is everything that they need when they want to buy property. So and sometimes they feel like C of O is more important than every other document. That every other document is not important. That is not true.
That is not entirely
C of O is important. Other documents is important. On other documents like deed of assignment, registered survey plan, are still important, just as the way C of O is very important. So how to verify a C of O land when you want to buy? So take for instance that you want to buy a property from maybe a real estate company or an individual, a property that is selling for 15 million naira, and that property has C of O. So the very first thing that you need to do is that you need to request for the details of that C of O. So you want to buy from that individual, asking for the fine number, you're asking for the details on that C of O, so that you can take the details to the land registry and then verify that C of O. And the reason why you need to carry out, in real estate we call it due diligence. And the reason why you need to do this is to ensure that your investment, the investment you want to make and the property that you want to buy is very genuine. Because if you don't take out time to verify this property, you can buy a land thinking that this land is genuine. maybe in the next 5 years or 10 years, when you now want to build on that land,
Yeah.
you now start hearing that this property has been sold to multiple
Oh
persons.
my God.
Or maybe this property belongs to another person.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe the CFO that was shown to you was not that for that particular property.
Yes.
You understand? Because the good thing about CFO, the reason why we say that you need to get the details, that every details about that property
is stated
in that CFO.
True.
Everything you need to know, the name of the person selling to you, the location of the property,
Yeah.
everything about that CFO should be inside that CFO.
Yeah.
And also the file number, because it is that file number that you now know when you get to land registry to know more important information about CFO. So the very first thing that you need to do when you want to verify a CFO property is, first of all, request for the details of that CFO. When you get these details from this person who wants to sell to you, then you can now take it to land registry. So when you get to land registry, details like file number, details like the name of the person selling to you, these are the details that you now use to verify if this land is genuine. And if the land is genuine, it must correspond with whatever that person told you about that particular property.
Sure.
If it doesn't correspond, that's already a red flag.
And
it simply means there's an issue over that particular
is trying to cover.
Exactly, over that particular property. So it's very, very important that you conduct a proper due diligence before you buy any CFO land, and also be sure that the person who wants to sell to you has the legitimacy to sell that property. I'm saying that the person has the right to sell that property to you, because you found out from experience that sometimes over the years people want to sell property to you. We had issues where a brother wants to sell his brother's property because the brother was not in Nigeria, the brother was in diaspora. And now because he has access to the documents, he now wants to sell it, but without the consent of the owner, the original owner of that property. So imagine that kind of situation. That's why you need to verify land before you buy. Verify everything, whether it's a CFO property. Even if the person is telling you that, oh, this one is genuine, this one is that, don't take the information at face value. Go to land registry and then verify
for yourself.
And if you are following us, please just drop value in the comment section. If you can hear us, if you can still see us, also let us know in the comment section. All right.
Yes. So you hear it all, you need to go ahead. Do your due diligence.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you're going to be satisfied that you did the due diligence.
Exactly.
It's this peace of mind that comes with knowing that I conducted my due diligence to the end.
Exactly.
And I found out that it is genuine. All right. So CFO is good, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is genuine until proven to be.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So the next segment is about the cost of a CFO. Now, a lot of people so much love CFO that they want to know how much it costs to get a CFO. All right. So we're bringing this to you to educate you and know that this is this and this is that. All right. So now I want to let you know that a CFO, the cost of it is dependent on some factors. When you know these factors, it is easier for you to prepare your mind. It is easier for you to know what you're up against. It's easier for you to take the right steps and also get to find out the right amount that it will cost you. And now those factors that the price depends on is what I'm here to talk about. So the first factor I want you to know that is going to affect the price of a CFO is the location of that property you are interested in getting a CFO for.
Exactly.
All right. So various locations determine the price of a CFO you're going to get. How do I mean? I mean that a property in a high-brown area. For example, if you're very conversant with Enugu, because we're in Enugu and then we're going to use Enugu as our case study whilst we try to let you know what we're letting you know. So Enugu, now if you're very conversant with Enugu, you know some parts of Enugu, like the Independence layout, there's the New Heaven, there is the Centenary City, there is the Golf Annex, the GRA, So these locations now, the price of a CFO in this location is going to differ from a property that is located in an underdeveloped or developing area. All right. So a CFO, the cost of a CFO that has a property in a town is different from the CFO for a property that is in a developing area, all right, or in a layout. All right. So if you're going about looking for a price of a CFO, have in mind that if your property is in a high brown area, an area that is already in demand, it is going to be different from an area that people are still moving into that is not very popular. All right. So this is the first factor you need to consider. Location of your property is very important, and it will definitely affect the price of the CFO in that region. All right. Now, the second factor I want you to take home today is the fact that the price of a CFO is also dependent on the size of your property.
Yeah.
All right. So these are considerations that you need to take into mind when going about the cost of a CFO. All right. So the size of your property determines the cost of a CFO. The cost of a CFO of a 150 square meter cannot be the same as the cost of a CFO of a 1,000 square meter.
Can never be the same.
All right.
Yeah.
A cost of a CFO of 1 acre of land cannot be the price of a CFO for 1 hectare of land. Right. So much more, the cost of a CFO for a bungalow cannot be the same price as a detachable duplex. You get it now?
Yeah.
I hope you're getting the angle.
Yeah.
All right. So it's to let you know that take into consideration the size of your land. This is also what affects the price of a CFO. All right. So if you have any questions, keep them in the comment section as we move on to other segments of this wonderful discussion.
Yeah. All right, that's very important. You really explain this thing very, very, very well. All right, so we noticed that outside what we discussed, so sometimes people ask other questions, which we also we're going to treat that now.
Yeah.
But while you are listening to us, just in case you have any question regarding what we discussed or any question around CFO, please don't hesitate to drop that in the comment section. We'll be very glad to attend to it. So one of the things we notice is that people are asking what type of CFO is on this land. So we had a prospect and clients who have reached out to us and asking us, okay, you say that you are selling this property and it has CFO. So what type of CFO is on it? And for someone to ask that question, simply means that person is a very smart investor.
Yes,
the person is knowledgeable. So the person has gone beyond an average investor to an experienced and knowledgeable investor.
It's not new to the business.
It's not new to the business. And this question is very important. Though we discussed a little bit of this earlier, but I just want to buttress it a little. So first, when you want to buy land, you want to know the type of CFO on that particular land. If it's a CFO land. So you want to, while he was discussing, you mentioned about federal CFO and state CFO.
Yeah.
We mentioned that every land in Nigeria belongs to the government, that is held in trust by the state government.
Yes.
There are some land can be federal CFO, like places in FCT, Abuja.
Yeah.
You can get federal CFO in places like that. But here in Enugu, what you have is what is obtainable is a state CFO. So you want to find out, is it a federal CFO? Is it a state CFO? There are places, there are land here in Enugu that are being owned by federal government.
Sure.
So in places like that, you can also obtain federal CFO. Then you also want to know if this land has a customary CFO or whether it has a statutory CFO. We already defined what the difference between these two. One, customary, has to do with places in rural areas, like villages, communities, where the Igwes, the village head, the community head or family head are the one in charge of properties, whether management, their control, whatever transaction or ownership in such place. So we talked also about statutory. So you want to know if this is statutory CFO. And another thing, you want to find out if it's residential, commercial, industrial, or agricultural. It is very, very important. Please, whenever you want to buy a land and the person is telling you it is a CFO land, take out time to ask what type of CFO, push for that, so that you ensure that whatever property that you are buying, that land meets the need to which you want to buy that property.
Sure.
Yeah, another thing also we find out, people have asked, okay, this person told me that this is CFO. How do I verify this?
Yeah.
We discussed that.
Yes,
That's question also you need to ask. Please, if you want to sell this land to me, maybe an individual wants to sell a property to you and that property has a CFO, please ask him, okay, where can I verify this? And mostly, especially here in the city of Enugu, there's only one place you can verify CFO.
Yeah.
That's land registry.
True.
Here in Enugu, we now have a new arm of government that is called NGs. So NGs also is part of the arm here in the city of Enugu where you can verify title documents, especially CFO. So you can take details about that property and go to NGs, go to land registry, Ministry of Land, and then you can verify these properties to know if it's genuine. And it is very, very important because CFO, most people now believe that once you have CFO, you don't need to do any other thing. They don't even get to know if that land has any root title, whether there's a deed, whether sublease or deed of assignment, whether there's a registered survey plan covering that particular property. So once they head CFO, you say, okay, I need this land, I need this land. Please take out time to conduct a proper due diligence so that if you buy a property, even in the next 5 years, 10 years, probably you buy it for legacy, you want to pass it to the next generation, to your children. Before your children get to the age of accountability or adulthood, maybe if you did not take out time to verify this property, there might be issue over that property. Yes. So imagine you want to pass an inheritance to your children and you are passing something that has a land dispute, or maybe the property is even in court. Yeah. So that's why you need to buy. Whether you want to buy from us or want to buy from any person, any real estate company here in the city of Enugu or any other place, please take out time to verify this document. Yeah. And I don't know if you have anything.
Yeah. So over the years, when dealing with a lot of clients and transactions based on land and houses, I come across some other questions that people want to ask as regards their property and land, as regards also CFO. Okay. You know, so over time I hear, Jesse, I have a land and it has a CFO, okay, and I want to sell my land. Yeah. And you've been saying that a CFO can only be issued once. So what do I give to the next person? You understand that question? Yeah. So people want to always know that, okay, me now, the seller, I have the CFO, but I cannot prepare that CFO for the buyer. Okay. But I want to sell my land. Yeah. So what do you do? So now what I'll tell you is that a CFO can be prepared only once. What do you do when you have, example, you bought a large expanse of land and then you got a CFO for that land. Now you want to set a particular plot in the expanse of land that you have to someone else. Okay. What you simply do is that you make a photocopy of the CFO. All right. And then the next thing you do is to prepare a deed. Now, a deed is as important as a CFO. Personally, Jesse Anozie, I think a CFO is overrated. It is. Because what you need to do is to prepare a legal document that shows the transfer of ownership from you that has the CFO to the buyer. And the document that shows that full transfer is a deed of assignment, or a deed of lease, or a deed of sublease. Actually, it is a deed. A deed is that legal document that shows the transfer of ownership from one person to another person, and it is recognized and it is registered. So it doesn't stop at CFO. There is a deed of assignment. And this is one very important document that you must have as a landowner or someone who wants to buy from another person. So you coming to buy from a person who has a CFO, you need to insist that you get a deed of assignment. All right. So this is the document that proves the full ownership, a legal ownership that you're going to be getting from the person, and certifies that you're now the new owner of that land. So this question is usually from the seller's end. All right. So seller is always confused that now that I have the CFO and I cannot prepare that CFO for the next person. So what do I do? This is what you do. You first of all, you make a photocopy of the general CFO and attach it with a deed of assignment or a deed of lease or sublease. This, and mind you, these are also legal documents. A deed of lease is obtainable right here in the city of Enugu. A deed of sublease is also obtainable right here in Enugu. And then what next do? You take these documents back to the government and register them. All right. So this is the next phase of activity you need to carry out, and when the document comes back as registered, it is now called a governor's consent. All right. So I think this is even more important than just having the CFO. Right. So if you're the next person wanting to buy a land that has a CFO, please make sure that you go about it the right way. You have to insist that the seller gives you a copy of that CFO. Then you need to insist that you get a deed. Now that deed is your legal right, is what protects you, is what covers you, is what distinguishes you in a face of dispute. Now, when two people show up with the same property document, who then wins? How do you settle the case? The best way to settle the case is to know who has gone ahead to register the document. Now, funny enough, if both of you have registered it, who then wins it? It's the first person who let the government know that you are now the new owner, right? And registered all these documents that you have. You've registered your deed, you've registered the survey plan, and then allocation letter, any other document that accompanies with it. So there are other auxiliary documents that come with a document, right? Like the survey plan, like a receipt of payment, like an allocation letter. These are other auxiliary documents that come together with a land document. So what I want you to take home today is that you need to register the document that you have. You need to go ahead and do your due diligence on that property. And at the end of the day, you didn't just buy a property, you bought a peace of mind. Even when, like he said, even when you're trying to transfer that property either to your kids as a legacy, or you want to sell it off, you know that there's no issue arising tomorrow because you've taken out your time. It might cost you time, energy, and money, but yet the ultimate goal is the peace of mind you're going to be having on your property.
Exactly. So, in summary, what we are saying that every land document is very, very important. Whether it's deed of assignment, whether it's registered survey plan, whether it's CFO, they're all very, very important. I know without your deed and registered survey plan, you cannot get access or even apply for a CFO.
Sure.
So just take, for instance, the normal academic sector, educational sector. So even before you get to master's degree, you must have gone through university. Get your first degree before you can now go for master's or even go for PhD. So all the documents are very, very important, provided you're registered. Because if you have a document that is not registered with the Ministry of Land, it's as good as having a document that has not been satisfied by the government. So it's very important, no matter the document you have, please ensure that it's registered. And also every document is very important because you can still present them in court just in case there's any issue over a property, like you mentioned earlier. All right, just in case if you are looking for properties here in the city of Enugu that have CFO as a title document, we also want to let you know that we have genuine, fully registered, verifiable properties here in Enugu. Whether you want to do for land investments, or you want to buy and start building immediately where you can live after building. So we have these properties, whether for land investment or for buy and build. All you need is just to call us on the number showing on your screen. We're also going to drop our contact in the comment section in case if you want to reach out to us, whether through WhatsApp or call us over the phone, so that we'll give you access to this property that are fully registered, that have CFO as their title document.
And again, I would love to add that we own one of the most affordable CFO properties you can find in Enugu today. And like I said, the only thing you need to do is to reach out to us to declare your intention that you want this property, and then the rest is history.
Exactly.
All
right. So we hope you got value from today's session. We look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah.